Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be doing like a bronze smoky eye with a bold red lip. I got this inspiration from Georgia Harbridge on Instagram, and I actually really liked that look. So I've already primed with my Milani Prime Perfection Primer, and this is the Maybelline 24-hour foundation, the new one. It's really good and it's really full coverage. So I'm going to take some of that on the back of my hand, and I'm not going to dot it all over my whole face yet and then blend like I normally do, because this foundation tends to dry down quicker than say like a foundation that isn't as full coverage. So I'm going to go in like small sections so it's easier to blend. And I'm using a damp beauty blender. This is the white one. I don't like to do my brows before my foundation because I tend to just mess them up if I do, because I like to just go in with my foundation. And I'm just kind of working in random areas of my face. As you can see, this foundation is super full coverage. I really like it, and it's not really drying. It's not as drying as like the Fenty foundation. I do like that. It's really full coverage and it lasts a long time, but this one's a little more hydrating. Next I'm going to do concealer, and I'm going to mix a couple of concealers. This one is by Almay, and it's more my color, but it has less coverage, and I'm almost out of it. And then I'm going to mix in a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape with that. This one is super light, so it's going to bring a lot of light to the face. I'm just going to put that right there. A little bit on the forehead, down the nose, and on the chin. And then I'm going to blend that in with a beauty blender. And I'm going to take that up to my eyelids, just to remove any discoloration from my lids for eyeshadow later. Next, I'm going to take the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I'm going to take my damp beauty sponge and put this right underneath the eye and right here on my chin, and then right beside the nose. And I'm going to let that kind of sit kind of cakey first, and then I'm going to go in with like an under eye setting brush and just tap 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 and set the rest of the under eye and blend that out. Okay, next we're going to move on to brows. And for brows, I'm going to use this Benefit Precisely My Brow pencil, and then I'm going to set it with the 3D Brow Tones brow gel. And I like to start by combing through them, and then for this brow I like to go kind of here towards the front and begin to fill in that shape first. And then work it towards the outer part of the brow. And now we're feathering towards the arch. And now we're going to define the tail. So again, on this side, brush them out, and then start defining the front of the brow. And you want to use a lighter hand towards the front of the brow, so it's not like blocks. You want it to kind of have a gradient and be a little bit darker on the tail of the brow. This brow is more tricky because it's got like it's more thin than this other brow. So what I'm going to do is take it from the arch of the brow and just drag it towards the tail to thicken that one up a little bit. And then if you want, you can run your spoolie through your brows to kind of blend it in and make sure, well, hold please. And then just touch them up and just kind of go with the flow. Make sure there's no sparse areas. Okay, and now I'm going to take the brow gel, and I like to do this because it really helps my brows to stay up, because a lot of times they like to point down, and this brow gel helps them stay up and in place all day. It also helps them make them look more real, so it's not like so flat. It gives them kind of a 3D effect. Now we're gonna contour the face, and I'm just gonna use like a smaller brush for that, and I'm like this shape, and I'm gonna use the Tarte face shaping palette. I'm gonna take this like cool tone shade, just a couple of dips in there, and then tap off the excess, and then just go right here in your cheekbone and lightly define that. And then blend up from that line upwards like this instead of down. You don't want to blend down because that kind of reverses the effect. So blend upwards. And then same thing on the other side. Okay. And then sometimes I like to just lightly contour the temples. And then bronze them later. For bronzer, I'm going to take this brush. It's kind of more fluffy and bigger and more long this way than the other brush. And I'm going to take this smaller palette I have from a Tarte holiday set or something, and just right where we added the contour, add the bronzer there as well. And this warms up the face as well as defines it. I'm going to add a little bit to my nose, just to make it look less flat, I guess. Okay. And then I'm going to take my powder brush from earlier and just dab over my nose to make it look less harsh. Let's see. Now I'm going to go in with blush. I'm going to use a Milani blush. This is the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. And I'm going to take a duo fiber brush and go in between the contour and where we're going to apply the highlight later. I like this blush because it's not too in your face, but it does add a nice, like, just a glow, really. I really like it. Now let's see, we're gonna go, let's go with highlight next. We're gonna take this Morphe M510 brush and I'm gonna spritz it with a little bit of Fix Plus by MAC. And let's see what highlight I use. Let's go with Fuego from Dose of Colors, if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. This is Fuego. It's just like a really rose gold color. It's really pretty. And with this highlight, you can make it as blinding or as subtle as you want it. And I really like that because sometimes I just don't want a real intense highlight because it can look fake. So since you can build it up like that, sometimes you have to, it takes it a longer time to show up. It's showing up pretty nice on camera though, so it's okay. And I like to highlight the cheekbones, the tip of the nose, a little bit on the bridge of the nose, and the chin, and the Cupid's bow. Okay. Now I'm going to set my makeup because I like to set my face before I do any eye makeup because I don't like my eye makeup to run, and that tends to happen whenever I set it after I do my eyes. So I'm going to take this All Nighter Urban Decay setting spray and just do a few spritz. And now I'm going to take just a palette and fan my face because that'll make it last longer. Okay. Now let's grab an eyeshadow primer. And begin priming the eyes. I'm using this one from Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I've had this for years and I still haven't run out. You only need the tiniest bit. And I'm going to blend that with my fingers. I actually added way too much, but we're working with it. Okay, now I'm going to take my, the same brush I set my under eyes with, and the same powder that I set my under eyes with, and just add that to the eyelids so my eyeshadow will not go anywhere and it won't crease, and eyeshadows will blend easier on top of this if there's a powder laid down first. I know I look crazy right now. So like I said, I'm going to be recreating that look that I saw on Instagram. It's like a smoky eye, and there's a really pretty like gold cut crease, and I love that. Let's see. Yeah. So I don't know if you can see this, but that's the look I'm kind of going for. She's got warm brown in her crease, and then a really deep dark brown, and then a really pretty gold on her lid. So I really like that look. She used the Jaclyn Hill palette, so I'm gonna use mine too, just because it'll stay more true to color. So let's see. Let's grab a couple of blending brushes. I like Morphe's natural hair blending brushes the best. Those are my favorite blending brushes. No, I don't clean my brushes every day, and yes, they still work. So there's my take on that. These blending brushes are just, you know, this is a Luxie 205 brush. I really like this, but I think there's a lot of red on that. And then this is a smudger brush I received in the Ipsy bag. It's by, I don't even know what it says, but it's just it's kind of similar to the Morphe brushes. But I like to use a natural hair blending brush for my eyeshadow. Let's see. Okay. First, I'm gonna use these two transition shades, because from the photo her eyeshadow was really blown out and really like a cat eye. So I'm gonna mix those two shades together and tap off the excess, and then I'm going to start in the outer V right here and blend that in, and then bring it in to the inner corner, and just go in windshield wiper motions and in small circles to blend that out. Okay, next I'm going to go in with the shade, I'm not sure the shade names, but I'm going to go in with this shade and wing that out some. I'm going to go up towards my brow, so I'm going to blend the shadow this way. And then I'm going to take that same color and blend it into the crease. And you want to bring this shade kind of higher up, because this is your transition shade, and we're going to add some warmer browns into there, and you don't want it to look messy. You want it to look